Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I hope you guys are enjoying the stories. I absolutely love reading them. So today we have 3 short fictional stories written by my friend Zachary Gale. His information is going to be listed in the description, so be sure to go check him out. Also, if you do have a story you'd like to submit, be sure to check the description. My email is going to be listed there. I would absolutely love to hear from you. And if you guys are enjoying the video, please be sure to hit that like button. I would appreciate that as well. That being said, let's go ahead and get into this week's stories. Our first one is called Beginnings. Through low-hanging mist, the figure fades in, as though stepping out of nothingness. Beneath their heavy boots, the tall grass gently crunches before withering. The early morning dew wets their worn jeans before quickly evaporating, despite the chill weather. The long hood of their dark purple hoodie is up, shrouding their face. Though no breath is visible, harsh, airy whispers fill the air as the figure slowly makes their way toward the drainage pipe. As the figure approaches, the moonlight reveals a large glittering object in their arms. The concrete pipe is large enough for a man to nearly stand fully upright in. The figure steps in and disappears into darkness, the whispers briefly echoing before evaporating like restless spirits. For a short time, the night around Edwin Valley is again silent. Floodlights at the Edwin B. Winans Middle High School and the Edwin Valley Police Station cast long, dark shadows along the parking lots. Homes rest quietly in the dark, though perhaps a couple or two are still up to nocturnal delights. The streetlights along Main Street flicker, and at the top of the intersection of Main and 5th, at the old theater, they go out just for a moment. When they return, Main flickers once more before returning to its dull yellow glow. And finally, the figure returns from the pipe, sniggering to themselves. As they follow their path, they fade away, arms empty. Zach, I hope this isn't the end of the story, because it sounds like it's going to be a good one. Anyway, please let me know. I'm looking forward to it. Our second story is called Something There. Everyone has that spot. That one spot that never feels right, never feels really empty. For me, that's the laundry room. I live in my parents' basement, which is honestly pretty great for a 16-year-old. I've got room for a bed, dresser, desk, a couple bookshelves, 2 chairs, and a couple tables. It's practically an apartment. The only downside is the view from my bed. While my bed is to the side of the door, when I lay down, I can see through the door at an angle, and a short way down, I can see the laundry room. And it always feels like something is watching me from it. The simple answer would be to turn the light on, but that doesn't work for 2 reasons. First, the light shines right through my bedroom door and makes it hard for me to sleep. And second, there's a second room from off the laundry room, a bomb shelter. And if it isn't watching from the laundry room, it's from that DIY Cold War era relic. I always know because the dark in those rooms feel unnatural, like light is swallowed in them, and I know it is staring at me. I call it an it, but truly I have no idea what it is. For 3 years, it's just been a feeling, a mutual awareness, almost like studying, a feeling of waiting, a malicious bidding of time. I don't even close my door out of fear of not being able to know where it is, but now I wish I'd closed my door, because now I see it. It stepped into the doorway of the laundry room very casually, in slightly too large faded jeans, a light blue button-up shirt, and an orange Argyle sweater vest. And I lay here paralyzed with fear and dread, a scream trapped in my throat as it looks at me with my eyes, and smiles with my mouth, and slowly turns and heads upstairs to my sleeping family. So I don't know if I have a specific spot. I do, however, have a place. And for fear of offending, I'm not going to mention it here, but I do understand what he means. Our third story is Uprooted. It's strange living on your own for the first time, especially in an apartment. If you're used to a house, an apartment is filled with endless noise, heavy footfalls, music, verbal disputes, children, and all for your entertainment. For months, I'd been living on a friend's couch after moving to a new town. I had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and uprooted my life to get away from the memories. After several months of saving, I was finally able to get my apartment. It wasn't anything special, 1 bedroom and a requisite kitchen with virtually no counter space, but it was mine and the price was right. The first few weeks were great. I could have people over, play video games until 3 a.m., eat pizza rolls and chicken nuggets for dinner, strut around the apartment in my underwear whenever I wanted, and live with the emotional toil of losing the person I thought was the one. You know, bachelor stuff. But after a while, I started to feel uneasy. It started simply enough: a random, soft sound in the kitchen, a sound at the door while in the shower, the feeling of being watched from the closet or hallway. I was able to reason most of it away as noisy neighbors or high anxiety, but one night, that all changed. I'd gone to bed at my normal time, but once I turned out the light, everything just seemed darker. An unnatural feeling permeated the air. The hallway appeared pitch black. I shrugged it off, figured I was just noticing the sun going down sooner as fall gave way to winter, and rolled onto my side, facing away from the door. I was warm, so I moved the blankets to expose the skin of my back. I'd been laying there for a few minutes, my apprehension dissipating, and on the verge of falling asleep when it happened. A hand was gently placed flat on my back. Terrified, I slowly rolled over and saw eyes floating over the edge of my bed, maybe 6 feet off the ground. They looked human, but the whites were veined in pink, the irises red, the pupils black as pitch. They weren't looking at me, but were staring over me, across the bed and out the window into the parking lot. As I lay there, frozen in fear, a car drove by, its lights enabling me to see the creature. It was humanoid and slender. It was featureless apart from the eyes. The creature was darker than anything I'd ever seen. Like it absorbed light. Its body had an odd, jittery edge, as though it was made of television static. As the lights passed over what should have been a face, the eyes slowly began to turn their gaze towards me. Not its head, only the eyes. Those red eyes burned into me. They were angry eyes, like those of a jealous or scorned lover. The eyes narrowed and the head slightly elongated, as though a mouth were opening, though none showed. A horrible screeching sound began to emanate from this thing in front of me, and its head began to turn to fully face me. Finally, I snapped out of it, leaping from the bed. I flipped on the light, ready to fight or run for my life, but as soon as the room was illuminated, the sound ceased and the creature vanished. I drove straight to my buddy's place and asked to stay on his couch again. Told him there was a massive party in my building and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't tell him the truth. I wasn't even sure I believed it. I ended up breaking my lease and borrowing money from my parents to hire movers and cleaners. I'd found a cheap room online to get me by. I refused to set foot in that apartment. I could see from the door that the place was trashed. Everything had been thrown from the walls and cabinets. Even the furniture was overturned. The movers said the light in the bedroom was shattered, making me grateful I'd left when I had, and the cleaners were unable to remove the footprints from next to where the bed had been. They said it was like they were burned into the cheap shag carpeting. Despite everyone's insistence, I didn't call the cops or my insurance. I didn't care if anything was stolen. I just wanted out. I haven't seen the creature since that night, except in my nightmares where those hateful red eyes float and turn to meet mine. So living in an apartment is an experience, it definitely is. And I remember moving into my first one. Definitely nothing like this happened, but I did have some crazy neighbors. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's videos. They were a lot of fun. Be sure to go check out Zachary's work. I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave some comments in the description of what you guys think of the stories. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video.